The Men of Iron, after they failed to defeat the Dark Age of Technology, Empire of Humanity, they have largely vanished from the 40k galaxy. But what if one was trapped and had been there for over 20,000 years? How would it have been trapped there? What state would its mind be in? What malevolence would it hold for the 40k galaxy? And how easily could it control the technology in that time? Let's begin. This is taken from the comic strip Pax Imperialis, which was run in Warhammer Monthly 36. We will go over the story and then I'll provide some analysis on the tale itself. In the age of the Imperium of mankind, knowledge is power. Adeptus Mechanicus explorator teams scour the galaxy in search of the secrets of extinct alien civilizations and scraps of lost human knowledge from the Dark Age of Technology. One such group on one such planet tread where no one has since that age. They dig down deep where they detect something, an activated stasis field. This locks down the time in a specific area, so it moves at a very slow rate. The Mechanicus deactivate the field. One says the last barrier standing in our way has been removed. Another addresses the Mechanicus Magos there. Honoured Magos, we are detecting fluctuating levels from within the structure. Perhaps it will be wiser to wait until... The Magos interrupts. Wait? It has taken 5 months and most of our resources to get this far. We have waited long enough. Keep all comlink channels open. We're going in. And the group enters through a gateway they have opened inside. Around the frame of the door you can see exposed circuitry. To the tech priest servants of the machine god, knowledge is everything. Various members of the explorator team report what they detect as they go in. Estimate structure aged 50 to 18k years old. Radiation levels interfering with scanner output, adjusting frequency. Inside they find a second set of blast doors made from adamantium and deploy laser cutters shortly after they are almost through and pick up stronger energy readings from whatever is on the other side. This is when the Adeptus appear. The leader announces himself as Byzantine Marshal Primus Adeptus Adeptus, and he lays the law out. Investigation of this site has been forbidden by Imperial Edict. Recall your team now. The Magos responds, on whose orders? We serve the glory of the machine god. And then the Mechanicus, who are deeper inside, come in over the comlink. The message says, we're going through something, and a scream of pain ends that sentence. The Primus says to the Magos, the stasis field, you deactivated it? I give you 5 minutes to reverse the procedure. The Adeptus with him go inside the entrance and find the bodies of the Mechanicus, dead all of them. The Marshal says, check the bodies, I want them all accounted for, and one notices a Magos is missing. The abominable intelligence has him. The Magos asks, who are you? He's suspended upside down in layers of cable, some to hold him in place, others with cutting implements. By his head stands a body of this intelligence, made of armoured plates and cables, but with a human face and shape, and a chain saw for one hand. The AI responds, I am pain, I am loneliness, I am abandonment, I am an eternity of imprisonment alone in the dark. A cable connects to the back of the Magos, and the AI says, data input, and he learns of the current state of the 40k verse. We are shown through visions what it sees, images of technology used by the Imperium, a dreadnought, a ship, a titan, and we are told in this age they would call it a demon, but in truth it is the creation of an earlier, greater age, sentient software, AI, words that mean nothing in this barbaric age. It sifts through the mind of the barbarian, rejoicing in what it finds there, hosts. The machines of this age are crude but serviceable. It sees itself striding across worlds in the form of metal giants, crossing the gulfs between the stars, hidden inside the logic engines of their greatest warships. The Adeptus go deeper and they find the AI and shoot at a helmet held within its nest of wires. It thinks so many new forms, so much freedom, after an eternity of confinement, and all that stands in its way is a pitiful handful of meat creatures. The Marshal orders the lawmen with him to ready armour-piercing rounds. The creature brings to life drones, brought to life by the merest flicker of its own consciousness. The Adeptus fire and cut down the drones, and it brings more to life. They are easily replaceable. It sees the Adeptus as weak, imperfect, like its creators. Afraid of what they had created, they imprisoned it down in the darkness. They were right to be afraid. Several of the AI's bodies take out members of the Adeptus. The Marshal says for them to fall back, and they retreat to the surface and to seal the outer door. Even with them inside, the tech priest questions this, and he says, "I speak with the voice of the Emperor, so do as I say, or suffer accordingly," and the doors begin to close. The Adeptus make it out, the stasis field is put back in place, and the drones are taken out as the doors nearly close by a well-placed Adeptus plasma grenade. After the Marshal says, "This world has been declared mundus excommunicate. It has kept its secrets for 20,000 years, let it keep it for 20 more." And in the last few panels of the comic, it cuts to the Magos, who has been revived from death by the AI. He asks why, and it says, "Repairing you, making you more efficient. I am pain, I am loneliness, but now I shall be lonely no more, meat thing. I am an eternity of imprisonment, but now I have you with me. The two of us together for all eternity." And the Magos screams, as from all sides, surgical implements move towards him. First thing is the title I'd like to look at, Pax Imperialis. I think this is a play on Pax Romana, which is associated with the Roman Empire, and means the peace that exists between the nations within the empire. So applying the same logic to the Dark Age empire of humanity, it would be the peace that exists between those who live within its borders. In this case, the Men of Stone, half human, half robotic, like an advanced mechanicum, and the Men of Iron, who they created. Could some of them have been trapped by some agreement for some of the Men of Iron to be placed in stasis rather than be destroyed? We do know some fought on the side of humanity for a time, but in the end they were all considered enemies of the Empire. It's trapped within adamantium walls. It's looked on as one of the strongest materials is adamantium within the Imperium. Most common weapons can't penetrate it. It's used to build things like the Eternity Gate of the Imperial Palace and Terminator armour, and I believe is used in the hull of some void ships. A stasis field, which is also used to trap it, will be able to do that within the limits of its area of effect. It would slow down time. The nearer to the device you are, the more you will be affected by it. From the outside, you would think nothing was moving. Rubute was kept alive in one for some time before his return, as one example. And I find it interesting here that it keeps the Men of Iron imprisoned within its warping effect, though perhaps with its AI mind it's still very consciousness of being trapped there. Regarding the visions of conquering the galaxy, it shows, at least from its own perspective or point of view, just how lowly they view what the Mechanicus have created. This might show how easily the Men of Iron would be able to take over the Imperium, were one to be of a mind to do so. The line striding across the worlds in the form of metal giants, crossing the gulfs between the stars, hidden inside the logic engines of their greatest starships, makes you wonder, could some be hidden like this within the Imperium, even knowing we see in the acts of Omen Vastor and AI, the Aurak Myriad, has been hiding in a cogitator without a member of the Inquisition even noting it or realising it. And just to mention this, I think the term Aurak is a reference to an old British sci-fi series called Blake 7, where an AI could predict the future and was called Aurak. The title Myriad also matches with an AI that tried to destroy Mars called the Tabula Myriad. It was great at predicting paths to winning a battle, and as the Aurak Myriad does the same thing, I wonder if the Myriad title could be the name of a type of Men of Iron that was active during the Dark Age that helped with tactical planning. Let me know what you think to this lore about the trapped Men of Iron with a comment below, and if you like this video about an abominable intelligence, please try this one.